What's up guys, in this episode I'm going to be installing suspension under my Barra powered FJ 4580. There are so many good videos explaining how to do this, and to be honest I was looking at them whilst I did it. I've never done it before, so I'm not going to go into too much detail on how we install it, rather just do a big time lapse and then I'm going to explain what parts I chose and why at the very end. Huge shout out to all my mates from uni who helped me install this. I honestly couldn't have done it without you. It's so much easier and so much more enjoyable when you get a couple of people to do this sort of stuff. So before bolting the suspension in, we're making some stands. So I got these base plates lasered. I've got my etch lines for my 75 by 75 by 3mm. And then Evan, my little cousin, is here helping me. And he's bent up these little U's, which the chassis rails are going to sit on. So it's going to make it a lot better to put the suspension in. And also I'm going to have some nice chassis stands, which I will need, I'm sure, at some point to do axles and that sort of stuff. So let's get to it. We're going to use the MIG for this one, and this will be a good opportunity to dial in my MIG settings and MIG technique. Yeah. So I've been patiently waiting for my superior gear. I think it's taken 4 or 5 months to get here. I went through the 4-wheel drive shed. I paid full retail for all this stuff. So I've purposely picked superior. I think it's pretty good mid-range stuff. New dampers. These are 400 a corner and they've got the remote reservoir. I managed to snag some second-hand steering arms and a panhard rod off a mate. So it made the whole thing a little bit cheaper. Dampener mounts for the front. I've got to make some rear ones up. And then I think this is a rear panhard rod, as well as some springs here as well. So the 4-wheel drive shed helped me out selecting the spring rates and all that stuff. So I went through them because they were really helpful, and that's not a plug or anything, just a shout out to the guys there. They genuinely really helped me with this stuff. So let's go ahead and install this today. I've obviously never installed suspension, so I guess we'll just see how the day goes. We'll probably end up making a few mistakes, but that's all good. Have a look at the time lapse and let's do this. Alright, so we've got the arms in, the Blackhawks. So looking really nice there, and then spring and dampener, we're just putting the reservoir mount. Yeah, pretty much good to go on the front end, and we'll move to the rear. From the top, we have the Dobinson coil spring. I honestly can't remember the spring rate. We ordered them so long ago, but they're one of the lightest ones out there. I think they might be plus 50. So we've got Superior adjustable 2.0 monotube. I think the front's a 10.5 inch travel and the rear's 10. Like I said, these are a pretty good mid-range shock. They've got the remote reservoir and they've got a heap of external adjustability, which is really nice. Obviously, we're going to have to do some shimming and get these adjusted properly because these are 80 series shocks, so this is not a standard 80 series. Yeah, these are around 400 a corner, and from what I've read and heard, these are really good bang for buck. They come with a cover that goes over this shaft as well, and I'm not running it, and from what I've seen and read, they get clogged up with mud, especially, you know, in Victoria where there's heaps of bog holes, and then the mud stays inside the cover and then clogs up the seals in there or wrecks the seals. So I'm not going to be running that cover. I'm going to leave them fully exposed, but if anyone's had any experience with that, let me know in the comments. So these are the Blackhawk radius arms. I opted not to go with the Superior Hyperflex arms. Now the Hyperflex have special bushings from my understanding, which allows the suspension to flex a bit more, but that you lose a lot of on-road feel. Because this car's got to do both on and off-road, and realistically, I mean, most of the Ks are going to be, you know, on a road of some form, even if it's just getting to the tracks. I want steering feel and handling feel. Now these are a cast chromoly arm, and apparently they're about half the weight of the Hyperflex. A little bit less unsprung mass is always a good thing for handling, and it'll be better for wheeling as long as they're strong enough. Because we've gone up, I'm pretty sure the caster is changed by 20 mil, so I think these bushings are 20 mil further forward than the stock ones. So that's why I've gone the arms. I haven't just done it for the sake of upgrading to trick arms. Yeah, I think they're going to do a really good job. It's a really quality product. You can see my steering arm here. So this is an upgraded Superior one. This is a second-hand one that I bought. Same with the front as well. I think they're chromoly and they're a bit stiffer and beefier than the standard 80 series, so that's why I've done that. They don't look very nice because they're second-hand, but at the end of the day, this is the underbody stuff and you can barely see it anyway. So this is Superior, and all the second-hand stuff that I bought is Superior as well. Here we've got the second steering arm from Superior. And then we've got the adjustable panhard rod, also Superior. So again, beefed up, and the standard 80 series panhard isn't adjustable. So that's why you have to go to the Superior one. Oh, also, I don't have the ARB bolted in. I definitely will be running an ARB. I just haven't bolted it in because I've been lazy. The rear end is super hard to get shots of, but you can see the Dobinson coil springs in there. And I've also got the Superior monotube. I haven't opted for the beefed up Superior drag links because these are easy enough to cut and shut if I need to change my diff angle, and I just thought I'd try and save some money, so I haven't upgraded that link or this link here. This is an extended ARB bracket from Superior, so the normal bolt holes up here somewhere, and it's just pushed it down a little bit so the ARB will still work with the lift. Sort of hard to see the whole thing, but this is the rear adjustable panhard rod. So you can sort of see my fuel tanks are half mounted, held in by ratchet straps at the moment, just for a mock-up. I will be getting back to them in a future episode. This is how the front ones would have come. Nice shiny gold. But yeah, they're obviously worn and they've been used and abused a little bit, I'd say. So the bolts here, I haven't really torqued them up. I do plan to take them all off the car when I tear the thing down and get them recoated. So I'm not quite sure how to do this, but I'm thinking sort of like a bolt inventory on an Excel spreadsheet because I just have no idea which bolt goes where. And they're all different lengths and they're all different sizes and stuff like that. So yeah, I am definitely going to do that, and then I will mark them with a paint pen once I've torqued them all up to the correct spec. So literally there's no way I could drive this car right now just because they're all loose. So that's pretty much it for the suspension. It's pretty mild and basic. I would absolutely love to design a suspension linkage for the 80 series chassis. Do like a weld-in kit for a custom 4-link. I think just for the first build, just keep it relatively simple. When you actually boil down my build, everything suspension and driveline related has been bought off shelf. I know it is Barra Swapped, so hopefully if I get those two things right, the car is going to be reliable, and then all the rest of the parts designed by me, I get to test. So that's it for this episode. In the next episode, we're going to be building a tray for my Landcruiser. If you like this content, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to my channel. Also, drop me a comment. I really enjoy reading them and responding to them. Cheers.